How's everyone doing today? Welcome to the Intoxication Station. My name's Raymond, and I feel the need to go through and update a couple things that are going on with the channel since content hasn't been the most reliable, I guess would be the best word. There has been quite a bit going on, both in my path, career, whatever the case may be, and with Strickland as well, too. And with that, content hasn't been the most consistent over the past few weeks. But in the same token, I mean, that's life because ultimately, at the end of the day, the podcast that we do is more of a side project with hopes of potentially becoming big at some point or another. But we're also realistic with the goals that we set along the way, too. Now, with that, we came to the conclusion of different style of editing, being a little bit more, I guess, professional would be the best way of saying when it comes to picking out places and just moving forward, there's going to be a little bit more thought that goes into the content that we produce over that place looks cool. Let's check it out. Yeah, willing to go through and put in the added time to get a thorough review on these smaller businesses that we're going through and reviewing and whatnot. Because I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, we're having fun. We're providing content and entertainment for y'all, and we're going through and promoting small businesses as well. So it's a win-win all across the board. We have switched up editing software from originally when we started off the channel back in late September, early October of 2024. The software that we were using was rudimentary at best, being iMovie, which it did its job and still continues to do its job on certain things. Not the best quality out there, but you can only do so much with free integrated software that comes along with any of the devices. So, as far as that goes, there's been a huge boost in overall the equipment that we're using and different techniques on how we use the equipment as well too. So, you might notice this is living room, dining room, den area, whatever you want to call it. And that's because of one of the new technology upgrades that I've done for the channel is from a laptop because with the desktop that I had ordered versus the one that I got, two separate things altogether, but that's worked out quite well, honestly, especially from an editing standpoint, from a just overall technology standpoint, because without without the proper tools to make this channel as efficient as possible, it's just it gets to the point where you're beating your head up against a rock for no reason. And yeah, I mean, phones do go a long way, and trust me, they do. But sometimes you have to get on an actual machine to be able to get the product that you're looking for at the end of the day. Whether it be editing, whether it be researching a location, updating the social media part of it, like there's a lot that really does go into, the 10, 15-minute videos that we do for the restaurants, especially because I guess how the process works on that is if we haven't been there before, then we'll go to the location first, see if it's something that we want to check out, review, whatnot. Well, we're not big enough to where we have to say, oh no, make sure to give us your honest way you would treat anyone coming into the place. And I doubt that it'll ever get to that point. If it does, then it's going to be one of those crossing over the bridge once it gets there. And yeah, we'll just go through, spot out the place, make sure that it fits within the demographic of restaurants that we're going after. We're starting to do a little bit more as far as looking at breweries, which I mean goes in line with the Intoxication Station channel name a little bit more authentically than doing restaurants. But in the same token, yeah, we are broadening the horizons a little bit. Instead of restaurant bars, we're going to actual bars, breweries, whiskey bars, anything along that line that we deem suitable for the channel. And with that, we go check out the place originally, see how it is. And if it's something that we want to visit, cool, we'll go back to it again. Because ultimately, I would like to maintain the platform of reviewing the restaurant at the location instead of going back to a studio setting and talking about it there. Ultimately, you want to be as immersive or trying to create the most immersive review possible going, God, how would I describe it? So I want to create an immersive environment for my listeners or viewers to make them really want to go to these places. Because I mean, like I said, we're here to help out wherever we can with smaller businesses. We do have a couple of places in the works, and it's just going to take time. It's just going to take time. Part of the reason why I'm doing the video here is just giving an update for everyone that does follow along, that does keep up with the social medias. And for the people that do follow us on social media and whatnot, thank you. It's very much appreciated. And especially for those that are tuning in, whether it be Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, for the actual podcast itself. Now, when Strickland and I met up, we did discuss a couple of things, and there may be a prelude to a second channel to this for more not directed content to the channel, but indirect content. As far as the traditional podcast layout that I have for a lot of my friends I've had on the channel. I find them enjoyable. Not only do I get to talk to my friends, but in the same token, I get to be able to display to anyone that wants to listen the opinions and just different thought processes from other people that are out there. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're in an isolated group of mindset with similar isolated group people, there's not a lot of growth being brought in there. So with that said, I am in talks with a couple of people that I would love to have on the channel and might be doing a collaboration with another channel, I should say, the Sour Milk podcast. The host of that, Jamie, I've known him for, God, over 20 years. Easily over 20 years. And he is family. Not directly, but he's family whether he wants to or not. And yeah, just being able to find the time ultimately to be able to meet up, record together, because that will be a collaboration that I'm thrilled to do just because how we interact with things is entertaining to say the least. And he would love to be on this channel. I want to be on his channel. So that's going to be healthy. Just like I said, ultimately depends on when we can free up the time because he's busy with recording and all his projects, and I'm busy with my projects, busy with work and whatnot. Yeah, it's ultimately a timing thing. As nice as I would like for this to become a full-time income to where I can solely put my time into this, the actual uh, passion that needs to go into this, still got to pay bills at the end of the day. So, you know, with that being brought up, it's not to say that it's been discouraging, just not having the time that I want to dedicate to this, but it's a little disheartening sometimes because, I mean, it's life. And for a lot of people, that's maybe what's preventing them from doing anything like this, doing their own podcast for their own subject matter and interviewing people that they believe are entertaining or interesting individuals. Yeah, ultimately, you got to have time to be able to do this. I'm doing this currently right before getting ready for work today. Yeah, I felt the need to go out there and just give everyone a hey, how's it going? This is what's currently going on. A through Z kind of thing. Strickland and I are working on multiple locations throughout the entire state of Florida. So we've done a lot of reviews in the Brooksville area, and we're going to continue to do reviews on that side of the state, being the Gulf Coast, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it the Gulf Coast. We're still going to continue to do reviews out there. We're still going to continue to do reviews in the more Orlando-ish portion of the Florida, but we are going to be broadening our horizons because there are so many good places out there But in the same token, we're definitely going to have to put a little bit more thought into it instead of something that we can just, hey, let's go ahead and review this place and yeah, this area, let's say, let's go ahead and review this area, knock out two, three restaurants and be home by whatever time that we finish up. With the places that we're looking into, I mean, we're definitely looking into all corners of Florida. And contrary to popular belief, Florida is a pretty big state. From one point to another point in Florida, it could easily take, I believe, 16 and a half, 17 hours from furthest point to furthest point. And that's all the way from Key West, mile marker zero, all the way up to up 95, straight across I-10, heading over towards Alabama. And it's a big state, remarkably boring state to drive through, but it's home. It's always going to be home for me. And same thing with Justin as well, too. I believe he's in the same boat as I am that we love this state. We're very fortunate to live in where people vacation at. I mean, it's cool. It's humbling at the end of the day. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why that we've done the channel is to be able to showcase from a local's point of view, from a native's point of view on what we find good here, what we find entertaining, what we find enjoyable. And it's just a beautiful state, especially this time of year. Currently, I'm filming March 23rd, 2025, and it's been gorgeous the past couple of days. It really has. High to low 80s during the daytime, nice and breezy, not that humid. At night, dips down pretty chilly depending on where you're at. And it's just a beautiful time of year here in Florida. That probably won't last that long before the gates of hell and humidity come rolling around and all the mosquitoes and bugs, and not looking forward to the love bugs. But before the Florida that people are aware of starts peering out its ugly head and just making it nasty to be outside for any length of time without having a towel, lots of Gold Bond, or any kind of body powder that you need to be able to survive out there because it's rough. It gets rough. And it's like that for 7, 8, possibly 10 months out of the year. Just depends on how late winter comes in versus how early summer can end, if that makes any sense. But yeah, just a quick channel update, quick and dirty interview that I'm doing with myself. First time doing a recording solo, and hopefully the content that's being provided is entertaining, if anything, informative for everyone that is listening. We do appreciate the support. We do appreciate the follows. One thing that I would like to leave for y'all to do, we do have multiple sources of social media for everyone to be able to enjoy the festivals that we do and will be doing here moving forward, the different restaurants that we're going to. If you could just like, subscribe, um, poke, whatever form of social media that you're on, go through and follow us because we do have some content that's going to be exclusive to one platform or another. Like, for example, one of our more popular pages is going to be TikTok. And I'm old. I don't know how TikTok works. I just know that people like it. And with that, there's going to be some editing that's going to be exclusive just for TikTok or for the 9:16 format. Yeah, being TikTok, Instagram, even some posts on Facebook and other platforms like that. There's going to be exclusive editing for that. There's going to be exclusive editing for the long page channel, being Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Trying to get on Apple Podcast at some point or another. Their process is a little bit more involved when it comes to being able to have a media outlet there. But yeah, currently now I am using the Riverside app, Riverside.fm, and it's been so much easier for editing purposes for the traditional podcast that, well, I mean, what I'm doing right now. There's a lot of really powerful tools on there that do help out with the 16 format and just different shorts, clips, anything of that nature, which is cool because I know not everyone has the time to devote to a 30-minute podcast, hour-long podcast. Hell, there's been a couple that I've recorded in the traditional format where they've gone on for almost 2 hours, and they're all entertaining in their own right. But if you're at work and you're just doing a quick 5 minute break, whatever the case may be, from the work that you're doing, just to hop in the back or be able to pull out your phone and just get a quick couple of clips in. That helps out tremendously, not only with the channel, but with your viewership as well, too. One new thing that we did get to the channel was I did make a post beginning of this week stating that I wanted to get Final Cut Pro. So I wanted to buy Cut Pro editing software to be able to do all the things that I believe the channel is capable of doing. Instead, went with another company. I'm still testing the waters on them. And yeah, part of the reason why I went with them is that it's a very powerful editing software called DaVinci Resolve specifically. And so far, it's worked out pretty well. Now, aside from the podcast, I do drone imagery as well, on top of everything else I do. And it helps out with the quality of product that you're trying to get for the customers out there. We'll do drone aerial footage of the place. If they don't have that, we provide that to them free of charge, all part of the review. And when I'm doing the drone imagery for paying customers, uh, you want the best quality product out there. 4K, 30 FPS, 60 FPS, depending on the machine that I'm using. And the last thing that I want is to have a lackluster product that's limited on my editing software. Because, I mean, to me, that's a easy fix. That's something that can be resolved. That's something that can be fixed. Upgrading software is a lot cheaper overall rather than upgrading equipment. Because, yeah, I mean, equipment's expensive. I don't even want to think about what I've invested so far, but that's the whole point of an investment, is to have the equipment necessary to be able to get the job done. And it's all paying off. All of it is. So it's all stuff that I needed to be able to do these projects, but it's also able to give me the expansion necessary for anything else that may pop up. Because, yeah, as of right now, I do drone imagery services, but in the same token, I may upgrade to bigger and better drones, or I may upgrade to bigger and better projects. I may even go into photographing. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to lead me, but in the same token, I have the ability to do so now, because having the right equipment does go a long way. However, you don't need specialized equipment for every little thing that you do either. The biggest example is the desktop and the laptop that I have. I run all Mac products just because I have an iPhone, and definitely not saying that it's the pinnacle of equipment. It is equipment. I'm familiar with the ecosystem that it is. And same thing with the AirPods I have in my Apple Watch, and all of it seems to integrate easier with the equipment that we have. One of the bigger pieces of equipment that we got that's really going to help out with production later on is going to be a DJI Gimbal P. And with that, it integrates with Apple products almost seamlessly. And to say that it integrates with Android products, it does. You can absolutely integrate it with Android products. But there are limitations with it, because the thing with Apple is it's the same thing all across the board. Same OS, same manufacturer. You don't have all these third-party individuals making the same product with their own twist on it. It's just one entity making all these products that mesh up with each other. And when it comes to aftermarket or third-party manufacturers, that's a good thing for me, anyways. Because say that I want a cooling case, boom. That I know there's going to be a cooling case for the phone. Say that I want a case that has different filters that attach magnetically, boom. There's several manufacturers out there that do that for the iPhone. Whereas with some of the aftermarket stuff, when it comes to Android, you have to have this particular model of phone in order for it to work. And if you don't have that phone, then you're kind of screwed, if you will, on that one particular feature that you're trying to go after. Whereas, as long as you have an iPhone, you have an iPhone, whether it be waterproof cases, whatever the case may be. And it's not a paid sponsor to the channel. Hell, they'll never know who I am, nor give a damn about who I am. But it's the equipment that I run with, but not all my equipment's brand new. At time of recording, The brand new to me laptop that I got to help out with editing and whatnot is I believe, mid 2019 model of MacBook Pro that's been refurbished. And for what I'm looking for, fits a bill. The desktop that I have is an iMac, once again, mid 2019 model, and it does everything that I needed to do. Yeah, I'm a firm believer on having the right tools for the job, but when it comes to technology items, there are certain things that don't need to be the latest and greatest. As much as I would love to drop 4 grand, 5 grand even on a single laptop that can do everything that this one does at thousands of dollars difference, I'm going to go with a less expensive option, especially with it being a piece of technology. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if I see the need to upgrade, then I'll upgrade whenever needed. Until then, I'm going to utilize the tools that are at my disposal now. Same thing with my phone. Currently, I'm filming on a 14 Pro, and I am debating on upgrading to the 16 Pro. Not because of camera sensors or anything, quite honestly. Camera sensors, when it comes to Apple's, haven't really improved much since the 14. But there is some software that the 16 Pro has that I would like to have. And once again, going back to the whole case thing, would like to be able to have cases for different shoots or different themes or whatever the case may be. And probably the biggest reason why I would like to upgrade to 16 Pro would be the USB-C. I know Andrew had it forever, but having the USB-C ability to be able to record onto another device, that way I'm not having to rely solely on the storage of the phone and having to offload different clips and different recordings and whatnot while I'm in the field. It just does it automatically, which if it's one thing that you could be in life is be efficient. And I believe that would help out with the overall efficiency with the channel. I mean, so being that it's going to be a newer thing, and it's probably going to be one of the bigger purchases for the channel. But I'm also going to keep the pre-existing phone that I have here. That's going to be the new B-roll camera, or it's going to be designed for the purpose that it's doing now, being a webcam essentially. It's going to help out with the drone stuff. Currently, I use a 12 Pro to do some of the B-roll footage, and there is a somewhat difference between the 12 Pro and the 14 Pro, but not enough to make it where it's like, oh, he's going from space age technology to potato. Like, it's not that big of a difference. But ultimately, it would be nice. Plus, I'm due for an upgrade anyway, so might as well go ahead and get what I want and try to future proof myself as much as possible. Now, on that, places that we're going to be going to. As mentioned before, we're going to be doing more well thought out planning when it comes to the places that we review on the channel, which may hinder some of the content that goes out just because, waiting on approvals, people verifying the channel, making sure that it's going towards a demographic that they're looking for, waiting on response emails, messages on their social media account, whatever the case may be. That's just bureaucracy at its finest. But it also gives a nicer, once again, more cohesive of a product that not only the owners of said establishment would love to have on our channel, but we do provide it for them that they can display it on whatever social medias that they have. Between the drone imagery, having our opinion on the food, the atmosphere, the environment, the location. It's a full involved thing that we provide for these businesses at no charge. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we're not looking for discounts at any of these places. We're not looking for free items. We're not looking for anything other than give us your honest service the entire time that we're there. We'll provide a review that's fitting for that. And it doesn't lend to any biases that could potentially come up with, I'll go ahead and review your restaurant as long as you give me a discount here, discount there. And, being that we focus on mom and pop operations, yeah, I'm not going to take food out of their mouth in order to put food in my mouth, if that makes any sense. Um, yes, I'm all for supporting small businesses. The majority of my family on both sides are small business owners themselves. And yeah, with that, it's been ingrained in me at a very young age to support local where possible. That being said, Amazon's a bitch. And there are certain things I don't mind going big box for. Technology items being a prime example to that, because it's like Best Buy is always going to exist. I would say Circuit City, but I think I would be aging myself a little bit. But I mean, there's nothing out there that you can't get from a consumer standpoint from the internet delivered within hours in some cases, sometimes weeks, but you're always going to get that item. One thing that you can't get off of a quick Amazon search or eBay search or Etsy search or whatever platform you use to buy consumer items is a good environment to be able to have food and beverage with people that you enjoy hanging out with in a nice atmosphere that you might like, or a rowdy atmosphere that you might like, or in a location that's going to be by the ocean or on a river somewhere or by a lake or just in an all-around nice area. Those are things that we focus on more so than anything is the experience once you get there. Part of the journey is the destination. And with some of the places that we go to, it really is a beautiful scenic drive to these places, which is nice. It really is. It makes it more enjoyable for the trip there, just because of how scenic they are. That's something that I would like to convey over to you guys, to the viewers, because one day you might find yourself down here in Florida, and you may have came across our channel at some point or another, and you think to yourself, you know what? That guy seems like he has a pretty decent idea of what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and try out this restaurant, or let's go ahead and try out this bar, or he mentioned something about a beer festival or a whatever the case may be going on this weekend. We should check it out instead of doing the same rigmarole, unoriginal ideas of going to the parks, going to the beach, going to the parks, going to the beach, be stuck in traffic the entire time. Because as a rideshare driver, I see it daily where no one has an original idea anymore. And not saying that what I'm doing is completely original either. Nah, like I'm fully aware that I'm in a space full of giants of other reviewers out there. And yeah, as a beginning channel, I expected that. But what I mean unoriginal ideas when it comes to Florida is we already have a massive populace here, getting close to doubling population pre-COVID to now. And we also have millions of people that come visit here. On top of that, yeah, current events going on. It's I wouldn't necessarily say a lame brain idea to go to any of the theme parks, but it's been done. How I believe with the theme parks is they're once every 5 year minimum and once every 10 year maximum thing to do. Because with the parks, they're not going to change much. Granted, yeah, they will have updates, and they are currently building a new park in Orlando called Epic Universe. I will go to it at some point, more out of principle than anything, because if you're from Orlando, you kind of have to go to the parks at some point or another. That said, I'm probably going to wait 2, 3 years minimum before I even think about getting a ticket there, because I genuinely believe that place is going to be an absolute madhouse. Both traffic, tourism, people being in there. It's going to be an absolute madhouse. But I will go there, begrudgingly, if you will. And there's still a couple of parks that I haven't been to yet, being Animal Kingdom. I've always wanted to go there. I remember them building it. I just never been there. And I'm hoping once Epic opens up, I can, yeah, pay my tithing to the mouse and go to Animal Kingdom and actually experience it for the first time. Because, yeah, when you're a native to places like people from New York City, when you're native to some of these areas that are hot tourist destinations, it's another day. I'm not that far away from Disney, in the same way that someone in Brooklyn's not that far away from the Big Apple. But who the hell wants to go there? It's so many people that are stopping in the middle of the road, in the middle of the sidewalk. Some people walking across the road that just stop in the middle of the road because butterfly. And it's a different level of chaos, control chaos, chaos nonetheless. Short of me being a rideshare driver where I make money in environments like that, who would want to go there willingly? I mean, seriously. But in light of that, it is nice to play tours for the day. Because one thing with being a local is you don't have to worry about the travel expenses. I mean, hell, I'm sure if I tried hard enough, I could probably walk to Disney. Would I want to? No, but it is an option. A bad option, but an option nonetheless. And with that, I just have to drive there or take an Uber there or a Lyft or whatever rideshare platform you choose. I can just take a ride down there and still be cheaper than paying for parking. Once I got there, ticket price not withheld, but there's no sense of occasion to it whenever I get there. Because, I mean, once again, as a local, I grew up as a kid listening to the fireworks at night, and that's when I knew bedtime was. I mean, that's how close I am to Disney. But you can see the fireworks from miles away. You can hear the fireworks from miles away, too. But I mean, that is just one of the pros of being here. Will we review any kind of theme park? Probably not, unless they have like a beer land or something like that. Beer land would be fucking amazing, but unless it's more guided to the channel, because with a passion project like Intoxication Station is, like, these are things that Strickland and I do. We go to places, we eat, we drink, we be merry the entire time. And that's entertainment for me. That's relaxation. That's my therapy. Yeah, I get it. It's not for everyone. And I can appreciate those that want to do the clean and sober life, or the people that want to do NA beers, non-alcoholic beers. I'm all for that, because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's all about socializing. Not, let's get absolutely shit canned here and eat chicken wings in the process. That's just a side project or a side product of what we do. Not get hammered or anything, but extreme example. Some of the people that I would like to have on the channel are going to be recovering alcoholics. Some of the people that I have on the channel just don't drink in general because they have their own vices that they want to go off of, and that's perfectly fine too. Ultimately, at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about socializing with other people, getting other people's opinion on places. What makes people tick, whether it be personal views on certain things, political views on certain things, which that's definitely a hot topic that I try to stay away from. Because as I tell people while I'm working, doing the whole rideshare thing, is I try to remain as neutral as possible. And I not necessarily play devil's advocate, but you have an opinion, I have an opinion. And your opinion isn't going to change my opinion on things, but I'm also not going to be a total dick when it comes to my opinion as well, too. With politics, beer, that's very verbal on my beer choices and whatnot. PBR is garbage, but that's just what it is. I mean, ultimately, we get to talk to people, recommend stuff to people, and it's just all people at the end of the day, which is a beautiful thing. Because, like I said, we live in most people's vacation spot. It's a humbling experience. But uh, this has gone on a little bit longer than I thought it was going to go on for. But, you know, dance, monkey dance, I get it. But with that, uh, just a quick recap. We are working on better scheduling for different events coming up. We're working on different restaurants for better viewership. We finally evolved to the point where we have the technology to be able to do stuff and things. We have the equipment to do more stuff and things. And just, if anything, see what comes out next, especially with the scheduling when it comes to restaurants, because reviewing restaurants is just slightly cheaper than a cocaine habit. And with that, they are expensive, and we come out of pocket for everything until the viewership gets up to the point where we are able to do viewer funded or monetization of any of the channels that we have out there. Until we get to that point, we are coming out of pocket for everything. So, as far as the restaurants go, we may have to move some scheduling as far as doing. We talked eh, about once every 2 weeks on dropping a video on a new restaurant. That way we can financially recover because I mean we still got bills and stuff that we have to pay. With this time of year, for anyone that owns a home, there's a lot of property taxes that go out, and that takes a hit on everybody because there's a large amount going out just to pay for something that you already own. I don't understand it, but we there's a lot going out. There's a lot going out when it comes to these reviews because not only from a financial standpoint, but from a time perspective as well too. Because Strickland works a 40 plus hour week with his job, and with what I do, I regularly see 50, 55 plus, sometimes upwards of 80 hours in a week. Pretty wide margin, but it all depends on the event that's going on. A few weeks back, at the beginning of March, late February, was Daytona Bike Week. And with that event, I worked in total probably 110 to 120 hours over the course of 11 days, which that's a lot. It's a lot of work. But with that work, I've been able to dedicate some of the funds to not only paying bills off for the month early, so I don't have to have that financial burden throughout the month to worry about, but I've been able to upgrade the equipment and everything too. So ultimately, this goes for life in general. If you're willing to put the effort in early, you can reap the benefits later. Ask any farmer, they'll tell you the same thing. And that's what I'm doing right now. Granted, I am going to be getting ready for work as soon as I finish up with recording here, but I'm able to do that on a new to me machine. I'm able to do that on new to me equipment using software that thankfully one of the viewers recommended that is outstanding software on with the ability to just be able to do stuff without being so burdened with having to work all the time. Like this past week, Strickland and I, we met up yesterday. We found a couple of places that we're going to pursue on doing the process as far as reviewing on. And I'm also working on another place closer to home in the Orlando area that I'm once again trying out the new process with that because it's all a learning curve. And prior to this, computer illiterate wouldn't even begin to describe my knowledge of technology. But I mean, in doing so, over the time of doing the podcast, I've learned how to edit on multiple softwares. I know what kind of equipment to look for. I know what the specs I need versus what everyone else uses. Not that we're trying to be a unique individual channel with that particular look or anything, but it would be nice to be able to stand out in a market where it's either not noticed as much or even just like having someone come up to me or a rider hop in my vehicle. They're like, "I've seen you on so and so channel. I've seen you on so and so post. You're the guy from Facebook. You're the guy from YouTube." I mean, that would be nice. A little bit of recognition for the work that goes into it is nice. It's like narcissism there, but that goes for any content creator, really. Just hoping everything pans out because 2025 is going to be a big year for us. 24 was a great year as far as dipping our toes in the water, but now that we dipped our toes in the water, we're ready to dive in. And with some of the places that we have in mind in different parts of Florida and whatnot, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the places that are off the beaten path, that are what we believe need to be highlighted to everyone that does come to Florida. Because even if 1% of the tens of millions of people that do come to Florida to vacation, business meetings, social gatherings, family events, anything of that nature, even if just 1% of them go to the places that we've been to, yeah, that's a huge bump, especially in the places that it needs small mom and pop operations. Because, I mean, math's going to math, but only 1%. I mean, that's negligible from a statistic number, but it's a huge improvement for a lot of these businesses. Because, I mean, operating a business, there's a lot of food costs, there's a lot of labor costs when it comes to the kitchens and whatnot. And anytime that I can help out a business, it's a win. And with that said, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I'm Raymond with Intoxication Station, and we will catch you on the next one.